Chris Duffin and Brady Cable here, and Brady's going to walk us through how to deal with if you've got like grip issues or maybe numbing of the hands, but just different neural-related issues. If we've got some excess fascial tension around this the shoulder, so in the pec, the anterior medial delts, that sort of stuff. Not saying it's going to deal with everything hand-related. We'll have some other videos on some other approaches to deal with this, but if you've got, left and right, like some big biases in strength, developing all of a sudden, a good chance is it's not like a strength thing, it's neural related. So,
especially if you're having muscular pec issues, benching and other things on top of this.
Yep.
So we're going to start by working in the pec itself. We usually aim for catching pec major and pec minor at the same time, which is easier with the pain pill, extra diameter. So upper pec, more lateral, but we had a lot of success pretty much working anything underneath the collarbone, obviously not being on top of the collarbone. So particularly if you're having nerve issues to begin with, you want to make sure you're not aggravating those symptoms or recreating them while you do this. If that's the case, get off it. You don't want to be compressing nerves. So we're going to have Chris go through a combination of either just single arm bench press motions or even just coming straight down into extension. Good. And so you can go probably work on these for about 2 minutes or so on each spot. Spend a little less time than that. Go through a couple repetitions. Try a couple different types of motion, see what you can get out of it. Another thing you can do is have the person go through like a single arm overhead press to a lat pull down type of motion. And you really want to drive down as they press up, kind of peel the tissues away. So press up, it's important to create tension as you pull down also. Making sure you're not overextending. Chris is staying a little bit braced. You don't have to have peak core tension, but just a little bit to hold you together.
I just put my hand there for some awareness.
Yep. So we'll usually start with the pec. Like I said, we'll work multiple spots going underneath the collarbone and through that whole upper pec area. So to work into the actual delt, you want to be careful because there is a lot of nerves that run through there. Like I said, if you get on anything nervy, you can just get off of it. So Chris, slide over so that you can keep your whole elbow on the bench. Come to about 90 degrees. And this, we're just going to pin down a spot in the front delt and have them go through internal and external rotation. And this, you might have to hunt around a little bit. Make sure you're not on anything bony. If the person feels discomfort, move off of that also. Internal, external. And just work through, work to the outside, work down a little bit further. You'll start to catch some of the bicep too, which is what we'll work on next directly. So this, we've had a lot of success using the boomstick horizontally, and especially with the knurling to help grab the skin and peel it away from the superficial nerves, because that can be what's creating a lot of the tension downstream in that also. So you want to start not in the septum between the bicep and the tricep, because that's where a lot of the nerves will run through. And also not directly on top of the bicep. You don't want to catch that median nerve that comes down through there. But approaching the bicep from the side, starting at the top and like a rolling pin, rolling it out. You can pause on one spot and use the knurling to twist up skin. I don't know, you probably can't see it very well, but the boomstick stays in one place and the skin is actually getting pulled towards Chris's midline. And you can work down that whole thing that way. Again, biceps is going to be very important to stay away from nerves. And doing this compression isn't always the solution for these nerve issues like Chris said. You'll definitely want to check out our podcast with Dr. Justin Dean, who's doing a lot of work with various neural issues.
Yep, or you can check out the YAP website as well. They've got more details specifically related to the neural tension. But yeah, definitely want to stay out of these 2 points right here. So in between those, right where Brady was at, was really important.
Yep. And you can work on I worked on the inside. You can do the same sort of area on the outside where you're coming in diagonally and hitting it that way. You have anything to add, Chris?
Nope, I think that covered it pretty well. Thank you, Brady.